You're listening to Liberty Lampoon with Aaron and Michael. Welcome to Liberty Lampoon, where we lambaste politicians, public figures, policies in print from a libertarian's perspective, I guess. This week we got Ann Coulter, PC conservatism, U.S. Arms, Anthony Weiner, maybe Anthony Weiner, and our grand phallus is Bill Weld.
Yeah.
So, Michael, how are you this week? How are you doing this week?
Liberty Lampoon. I'm doing well, Aaron. How about yourself?
I didn't have you muted this time, just so you know.
Oh, no? Oh, okay.
No, I was a good guy this time, and I decided not to have you muted.
So when I was like, hey, you got that?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Right, cool.
Because I'm a great person, and I decided that it's rude, to try to silence you when I don't even know if I really believe in silencing you.
It's very, very anti-nap of you.
Yeah, to silence you. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Well, this is my podcast. Well, I guess it's ours. So.
I'll see you later.
This is going to be a good show, guys. Anyways, so I wanted to get into this first. I don't know if you've seen this, and I think this roast comes out today. It's the roast of Rob Lowe.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
Well, it comes out today, but there was like all this controversy this last week because Ann Coulter, for some reason, got invited to be one of the roasters, which just seems like so weird to me.
She probably has some connection to Rob Lowe.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. But so apparently, like, there was this news that the comedians on the roast, they just destroyed her, right? Now, this happens like anyone who is on the dais is what they say. Anybody who's going to speak, they all get roasted. But there's like this big controversy over, like, I guess somebody said that she should kill herself. And, I think that's kind of funny comedy, but I'm into that weird, evil, dark shit, right? So what do you think?
Those roasts, yeah, I don't think it's a big deal because those roasts, they get, they say some really mean stuff at them. And like at the Justin Bieber one, man, they roasted Martha Stewart as hard as they roasted Justin Bieber. So
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So it's if they're there, deal. If they're on stage, it's their fair game.
Well, from everything that I've seen, it makes it look like she's upset about it, right? I mean, I haven't seen any direct quotes of her saying that she's upset about it.
Why would she be upset? She knew what she's getting into.
Well, she did say it's just another like example of left-wing bias, which this is what I thought was funny was have you seen those memes where it's like somebody standing in front of a control board or whatever, there's two buttons and like they have to choose between, it's a paradigm within their ideology where they believe both two things that are contradictory to each other simultaneously,
Okay.
So I had this picture in my head of her with one that says, that comedian went too far, and the other button says, PC culture is destroying America. She has to make that decision. But that got me thinking, would you say that conservatism has its like own like form of political correctness? You know what I mean?
Oh, are you referencing Colin Kaepernick? Then yes.
I'm not technically referencing Colin Kaepernick, but that would be an example of it, right? I mean,
well, if he doesn't stand for the American flag or the national anthem, then his name should be Colin Kaepernick because he's a fucking dick.
But you do agree with me then? Like, there's like this weird sort of like speech police that's on the conservative right as well. It's just not as like. It just got me thinking.
Well, if you're asking me, son, if I believe in free speech, you're damn right I do, because it's protected by the First Amendment. That's why it's number one, because it's as important as God. Except when it comes to them Muhammadans, no, they don't get free speech.
They don't get free speech. Why don't they get free speech? You said so yourself that the first is the
Muslims.
best.
They're Muslims. The Constitution does not apply to them. They can't own guns because they're going to come shoot us all up. And, So,
you're leftist on gun control.
What? No, man. What? What do you think I'm saying here? No, I believe in the Second Amendment. Every red-blooded American deserves to own a firearm.
So what
except
about
the
Muslims here?
Mohammedans.
What about the Muslims here? Can they own firearms as well?
No, they cannot.
But what if
because
they're Americans?
They are not American. See, that's where they manipulate you to make you think they're Muslim or they're Americans, but in actuality, their religion does not allow them to be Americans.
Hey, I think church is about to start, so you probably better get going.
Oh shit. Yeah, my pastor said. Yeah, my pastor. He said he better see me. I like to sit in the back row, but sometimes if I'm feeling real holy, I go sit up like by the third or fourth row. So
Yeah.
But the back row is the
work.
fifth row. So all right, I'm out of here. I'll see you later.
Yeah, you did some good work for preventing brown people from doing anything.
Whew, channeling my inner conservative there. That was real weird. What happened? I feel like I blacked out.
You're doing better at this, Michael. You're getting better. I think that you're getting better. So
yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
I don't know.
So then you've just gone and confirmed confirmed. Hey Vern, you've confirmed that there is this PC subset like of conservatism, like you see it everywhere. And it's funny because I think that this podcast that we do confirms that it exists. No, I've seen things like I've gotten messages and stuff like people mad about the Christian joke that I did last week,
Yeah.
the interlude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've had some people backlash at me over that. So,
well, and I don't know if we've necessarily talked about it on air, but we've talked about it in person before. That, like, for the most part, most people believe in freedom until the freedom challenges their beliefs or goes against their beliefs, and then they're not so pro freedom anymore.
Yeah, right.
And we see that like with definitely the conservative Christian right, sometimes extremely, and same thing with
the left. I'd say
the left. Yeah.
It's just but that one is so easy to call out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I find it so easy to call out conservatism, just because I came from there. And to me, it just seems to me that like with the left, it's widely known, it's been known forever. But with the right, it's like it's there, it exists, but they feign and pretend that like there's something that they aren't. You know what I mean? Like we are pro freedom, we are pro America. That flag stands for freedom. But if you don't worship that flag, we'll put you in a goddamn cage.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think it goes back to like the evangelical base is a huge portion of the conservative right. It's almost like, like when you go to a church, people have like Jesus talk, and they talk in weird ways they wouldn't talk normally.
Right.
And say weird phrases.
Yeah, like for instance, anytime that you walk in, there's this whole howdy brother, they do that thing where they're like, how are you doing? I'm doing great, walking with the Lord, shaking hands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not being real.
Yeah, or like my biggest thing that I think is hilarious is like when people pray out loud and they say like God and Lord so many times, but
like,
if you were
1,000.
And like people are like, well, when you pray, you just talk to Jesus. If you were just talking to someone normally, I wouldn't say Aaron, Sir Thompson, a bunch of times while I was talking to you.
You might.
They feel the need to do it if I might if I just met you and I was trying to remember your name.
Yeah.
I'd probably say it like 3 times.
Right.
But
yeah. Like I think when I first met you, I was like, "Hey Michael, so good to see you, Michael." And Michael, just so great for you to be here, Michael. Michael, please come into my house, Michael. Please come into my house. Oh, Michael, thank you for bringing this food, Michael. This food is so Michael, great Michael. It is good, Michael. Michael, I'm confused about what I should do with my life. Michael, would you allow me to tie my shoes, Michael? Michael, if it's your will, I will tie my shoes, Michael.
And you know what I also find interesting? I think we may be getting off topic, but
we are. We're totally off topic.
You conclude a prayer with amen.
Yeah.
And if you're just talking by yourself, then and you say amen, then you just pretty much you just say I agree with everything I just said.
You're a crazy person.
Shouldn't you end the more like and thank you Jesus, the pleasure was all mine,
Yeah.
or something like that, something along those lines.
To bring us back to topic, Ann Coulter, I have historically hated her. Even as a conservative, I did. I mean, even as a conservative, I totally hated her. She's so brash. She's big into this whole white rights thing, which, that's fine. If you want to be for that, I get it, right? You're white and you want white rights. But historically, it looks kind of bad,
White power.
And
white power.
And, I don't know. It's an awful platform. She worships Trump, but thinks that he's not strong enough on immigration.
Yeah, and see, and the thing about women like Ann Coulter or people like Ann Coulter is that they, when like feminists take a hard stand on something or something like that, they call them out and they're like they're not really women. But then you have, but pretty much Ann Coulter is a feminist of the right.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's like I consider her to be like a social justice warrior of the right. You know what I mean? Because she's one of these people who's like, she doesn't want any immigration at all. Like none, not even high-skilled workers. Like I have heard her lobby for zero immigration. She doesn't want people coming into this country for anything really, And I'm not exaggerating that. Those are her words. She's a psychopath. But one nice thing about her, she is better looking. And she's like a better looking, smarter version of Sarah Jessica Parker. That's what I think. She looks just like that horse-faced donkey witch.
You think Sarah Jessica Parker is a horse-faced donkey witch?
Yeah.
I like Sarah Jessica Parker. I think she has that cute, like, dainty thing about her. Like if I took Sarah Jessica Parker out on a date and things are going well, and I brought her back to my place and we're having a couple of drinks, and I wouldn't have any doubts that if the panties came off, everything would be intact. Whereas like with Ann Coulter, I might be afraid she might whip out a big,
Right.
Like,
welcome to Liberty Lampoon, everybody. Welcome to Liberty Lampoon. It's great to have you here. This is a political talk show. Enjoy the show.
Please allow us enjoy us roasting different political figures and being self-conscious about our penis size.
Are you worried about your chances in the upcoming election? Well, you should be. Did you just get an invitation from the president of Mexico to come and talk to him? Even though you've been calling all of his people rapists, murderers, and drains on the American welfare state? From the proud company who brought you want slaves, you need body armor. Never worry about going to countries whose people you've demonized over and over and over and over and over again. Come on down to You Need Body Armor today. We've got chest plates, neck plates, heart plates, feet plates, dick plates, and hairpiece plates for all you fine-looking gentlemen out there. Never worry about demeaning brown people ever again. Come on down to You Need Body Armor. We'll protect your dick. Actual human penis not included. So if you don't have one, we can't help you. I don't know what we're talking about. That first segment, it was good, and we're keeping it, and now we're recording again. But it's just, to me, it was a little funny.
We
just jumped all over
really
the place.
Bad. Yeah.
Good Jesus.
We talked about Jesus. We talked about dicks. We talked about Sarah Jessica Parker.
So
that's
dicks,
pretty much like every conversation you could have.
Right. As a libertarian, that's what libertarians like to talk about.
Yeah. Except we missed the nap.
Oh.
We missed the nap. That's the one thing we left out.
Well, you bringing that up violates the nap.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I did not.
You committed an act of aggression on my feels. Okay, so let's get on to. Now, you might have something to say about this. I don't know how this is going to go, and if you say things that I don't like, I'll just edit them out, like I did last week.
Okay.
So this is from antiwar.com, so it's not biased at all. But so it turns out that, we all know how American foreign policy works, right? I mean,
oh, do we?
I just saw pictures today of ISIS rebels driving American tanks. Like
it says U.S. Army on the side.
Yes. Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, they're driving like U.S. tanks. They got U.S. weapons because we armed them. I don't know if people know that. We armed them. We destabilized a region. We left that region, and then we gave them arms to overthrow Assad in some cases. We didn't fulfill our side of the deal, and now they fucking hate us, right? So
and
now they want
weapons we gave them.
Right. So now they're armed. We armed them. We pissed them off, and now they want to kill us, right? And so because of that, we got to start, we got to attack. But anyways, so we armed more people over there to fight them, right? We armed two groups.
because that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, because it worked the first time. But so we armed two other groups over there. And those two groups, they hate each other, right? So now those two groups that we armed both of them, those two groups are fighting each other with American-made weapons. And the third group, ISIS, they're also fighting those other two groups. So there's a literal love triangle of hate. Does that make any sense? I don't think it makes any sense. It doesn't matter.
A love triangle of hate. No, that makes sense.
It's a hate triangle.
They love to hate each other.
Yeah, they love to kill each other. But so they got like this love triangle going on over there, and they're all armed. They're all allies of the U.S. other than ISIS, right? So there's three groups literally killing each other, and we armed them. So you'll wonder where your goddamn money goes.
Which ones did we arm?
Let's just say all of them. I think that would
all of them.
Like we could just say like if it's in the Middle East and they have weapons, they got them from us. I'd rather that's comfortable. I'm comfortable saying that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, how long did you expect the Soviet weapons that we gave them in the 80s? How long did you expect those to last?
Yeah, they needed new ones.
We've been fighting with them for what's today, September 5th, so like 15 years. It eventually those weapons were going to run out. So hey, we got to replenish them if we want to keep the war drums going. So
the U.S. calls this was their response to this information coming out. The U.S. calls for everyone to just focus on ISIS rings extremely hollow because while all of these factions got into proximity with one another by taking ISIS territory, largely with the help of the U.S., the juiciest plums in the area are no longer in ISIS hands, and the fight against ISIS was always going to be followed up immediately with this fight. So, even if you knock out ISIS, those groups that you just armed, they end up taking over and being pissed off at the U.S. You know what I mean? It's like literally a lose-lose situation. No matter who you put in over there, or, if you think that you can do that, no matter what you do over there in that country, they're going to be like, fuck America,
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to jump to conclusions by any stretch of the imagination, but we may be fucked.
Well, no, not us. Just the brown ones over there. They're the ones who are screwed. We'll be okay.
Well, I'm physically yes, but taxing as far as taxation goes, we're if it wasn't necessarily theft before, it definitely is now. I think maybe, but
we're like
I don't know.
Daenerys Targaryen. We're like Daenerys Targaryen, becoming the Khaleesi.
Are you referencing the Mother of Dragons? Wait, do you watch Game of Thrones? I didn't think you watched Game of Thrones.
And here we go off the rails again, everyone.
Nope. See, yes, you're doing it to me, Aaron. You're doing it to me.
I'm trying. But so if you're okay with that foreign policy, please, by all means, start supporting Hillary Clinton because that's what you're going to get. You know what I mean? Like, this is her plan. This is what she likes to do. Regime changes.
I think our government should take a look at and just really consider to try to have like a different type of crisis in every continent. So like, obviously, like in the Middle East, we got combat. Which side does America support, and blah blah blah, all this stuff, and and all the relationships, the EU, all that stuff. So we got that kind of like foreign policy problems there. If we could go to Africa and create like economic problems, and then what kind of problem could we have in like South America?
Man, I don't know. That's a good question. There's any number of things we could do in South. Oh, I know, cartels. Cartels
yeah,
are a big
yeah.
problem. We got one. There you go.
Yep. Or we could do some type of disease like Ebola or
Yeah.
so
Let's
like a
engineer
medical
it.
crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, and then we just have a crisis on every other continent, so that then we have to be involved, and really, and then we can destabilize governments and like try to build them up again.
Yeah, and put
many
like
good
puppets
countries.
in there. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
put puppets in there, and then those
'Cause
guys
it
will
works-
fail.
It's worked so good for us. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Right. It works
'Cause-
so great. And then like the cool thing about it is that then when we create a bigger problem, we can just move as many of those people to the government will move them for us. They can move them here
Yeah.
for us.
Thank you.
Great case. You're making a great case. Almost
Because I mean,
yeah.
if we're completely honest, government knows best. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just the peons, really.
Right. I think the really overarching message that you're trying to, like with this idea, push forward is that Hillary Clinton for 2016, we're with her. Hey, Todd, thanks for meeting me here. Yeah, I love being able to take a break from Hillary's campaign just to get a single coffee. I've been working so hard for much less than $15 an hour, and it's just getting so stressful defending her corruption all the time, Actually, Todd, that's why I asked you here. Someone you talked to last week decided they'd rather vote for Jill Stein, so... Oh! Well, I mean, we can't win them all, I guess. Yeah, gonna need you to kill yourself. Excuse me? Oh God, Todd, don't be such a diva. Wait, you're serious? Oh God, is that a gun? Don't make me do it, Todd. Oh God, no! I'm with her. Bitch. Good coffee. So now we're getting to our grand phallus of the week. It's Bill Weld. Hey, and guys, if you're a libertarian and you're going to be offended by this, just shush up. Just shush up. Sit down and just listen. Because, look, I mean, be pro Gary Johnson if you want to, okay? We don't care. We're not going to, force you not to be. But Bill Weld is a real big dick, that's what he is. If Harry Reid and John McCain, got together, made a little love,
wow.
The baby
Brown
would
chicken,
be
brown
Bill
cow.
Weld. That would be the baby. Bill Weld would be that baby.
He'd come out old and a gun grabber.
Yeah. Old, gun grabbing, interventionist, Yeah, that's how he'd come out. He's a real piece of work. So
I like it.
So the Libertarian vice presidential candidate, Bill Weld, just this week, by the way, hat tip to the Libertarian Republic, even though I got this from them. So there was I'll just read a little bit of it. In a recent interview with Jen Rogers of Yahoo Finance, Libertarian vice presidential nominee Governor Bill Weld was given the spotlight to speak about his campaign alongside former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson. Governor Weld made statements that will not sit well with many in his own party. That is that's the Libertarian Party,
Oh, I thought you were just going to say the neocon. Never mind.
So somebody asked him, what scares you most? Or what scares you most? What makes you most nervous about a President Hillary Clinton? To which Weld responded, fiscal policy, a difference in view there. As you say, I have known her for a long time personally and favorably, so I am not throwing epithets around the way Mr. Trump does. Which, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay, right? I mean, they've been friends.
He's going to stay above the fray because there are politicians who disagree on a lot of critical issues, but they're still friends.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it kind of sounds like he doesn't want to get shot. But anyways, as their conversation continued onto the issues, Rogers asked Weld about Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, where Weld initially said he was for, quote, much more competition in the marketplace, continuing on to say that he believes, quote, patients and doctors should be making more of the decisions in the system instead of the government and the insurance companies. That's maybe the worst thing about Obamacare. And then he goes on to this heaping pile of steaming shit. Weld said, quote, I understand that if you want to cut costs, you've got to get more people into the system. So I always supported the mandatory feature there. Unlike most Republicans, because I know that if you don't do that, you're not going to get the 28-year-old bartender who's making $125,000 a year into the system, and he'll not insure, and then when he breaks his leg skiing at Sugar Bush, he'll show up at the emergency room.
Okay, I want to know what goddamn bartender is making $128,000 a year.
That's the first thing that I asked.
I will drop out of college and go to bartending school to work wherever he works right now.
So yeah, there you go. There you have it. Bill Weld, he thinks that there needs to be much more competition, right? There's got to be just as much competition as we can get into health insurance.
Because, I mean, the government built the roads, for Christ's sake. So to get the most use out of them, we need to make it mandatory for everyone to own a car.
Right. Everybody has to own a car. And, he's willing to use the guns of the government to do it. So there's your Bill Weld libertarian speech of the day, you freaking animals. I can't even believe this. I can't even believe that this guy has the balls to call himself a libertarian. And if you remember our first show, we talked about how he is a gun grabber, like literally a gun grabber. He talked about, he said all that stupid
crap. But he was a Republican governor elected in a liberal state.
Yeah. So what the hell does that mean?
That means he's a libertarian, right?
Yeah, socially liberal, fiscally conservative, and I think that most of the population find that they can agree with us on some things. So just give us a shot. Just put us in the debate, and we'll pull it off.
Yeah. In the previous segment, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I think Bill Weld might be tugging our dicks here or something.
Oh yeah, he's there's some dick tugging going on, dude. But
he's tugging real good.
So here. There's like a few reasons why he's not a libertarian, but here's one. You can't indict, this is a quote from him, you can't indict Hillary if there's no criminal intent, and I don't see any evidence of criminal intent. Yeah, you don't see any evidence of criminal intent.
In small print after that phrase, still in quotation, said, I don't want to be suicided.
Please don't suicide me, dear God. Hillary, I love you.
And then right after that interview, Hillary texted one of Bill Weld's aides saying he bought himself another day.
He also said this. I missed this when we did our bit about what he was saying about the standard military 5-shot rifle that hasn't existed since 1937 or whatever. He says, you shouldn't have anybody who's on a terrorist watch list be able to buy any gun at all. Isn't that straight up a liberal viewpoint? Isn't it? Isn't that straight up like what they were pushing for, right? Am I crazy? What's going on? Where are we?
Did we go through a portal? Like a duck, and it sounds like a duck. It might be Bill Weld.
Yeah. I think you might be right about that.
Can I just point out something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I found it odd that the libertarian candidates, they're pushing their VP almost as much as they're pushing their actual presidential candidate.
Yeah, they keep saying, yeah, we're going to get into this. I forgot about this. They're going to run as a team. They're saying it's like a joint presidential campaign. They're going to run they said 2 heads are better than 1. What?
That sounds like drunk frat boy talk to me.
That sounds like Bill Weld's got a lot of money and a lot of people who want to give him money. Maybe Bill Weld's the one who's running for president. Yeah. Like maybe to me, if you just take a step back, maybe Bill Weld is the one who's running for president right here. I mean, he didn't even hardly win the libertarian vice presidential nomination, but by like 0.1% or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weird stuff going on around him. And like the way that they talk about the campaign, you point out, it's a good point that you got there. Like what's with him being in the news so much? I haven't even seen Pence in the news that much or Kane. Yeah. I mean, he's been on the TV more than Joe Biden, which, by the way, I'd like to insert something about Joe Biden real quick. Did you see that video? I think I sent it to you.
Oh, where he pointed out the guy with the nuclear launch codes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's him right over there.
I got a guy follows me around with a suitcase. It's got the nuclear codes in there. There he is right there. It's got the nuclear codes in there. And you expect us to trust Donald Trump with those nuclear codes? You can't trust him with them. Look, that guy right there, he's got the nuclear codes. That guy's going to be following Donald Trump around. You can't trust somebody. It could fall into the wrong hands. It's so ridiculous, dude. Like, he literally said, look, I can't be trusted with the nuclear codes, and neither can Donald Trump. But anyways, back to Bill Weld. That guy. I think you might have a point, Michael. Are you trying to suggest that maybe, just maybe, the neocons and the rhinos were able to get their candidate choice after all?
Welcome to InfoWars.
Part 3, our tryout. Liberty Lampoon trying out for InfoWars 3 weeks in a row. Put us on InfoWars. We want to be on InfoWars. Hillary was an inside job. Bill Weld is definitely an inside job, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a plant. If he's not a Soviet, then he's a goddamn Republican.
Yeah, he's either, neo-communist or neo-fascist or a mix in between, or he's just, like I said, a cross between Harry Reid and John McCain. That's what I really think he is. I think he's a cross between those two.
Well, that's kind of funny because John McCain and Harry Reid are pretty much the same person.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it would be so funny if we could, maybe we get Gawker to follow John McCain around. It'd be so cool to see, Bill Weld, John McCain, and Harry Reid, blowing each other, right? Because that probably happens.
In the sauna of the Capitol gym.
Yeah. That all those politicians are screwing each other. You know it. They're psychopaths. They probably bathe in the blood of baby goats too, because they're psychopaths. Bill Weld is a satanic gay dude who wants gays to be not able to get married. That was another thing. I saw I saw an interview with a LGBT rights activist in Massachusetts, and they were saying basically that he said yes, then he said no, then he said yes, then he said no, right? So he was known for being the first guy to push for LGBT rights in New England, I guess, one of the first governors, to push for it. And then the following year, he flip-flopped and was like, no, I don't mean that they should get married. I just mean that they should be able to live together if they want, something like that.
Oh, so he Hillaried it.
Yeah. You can definitely tell that he's best friends with Hillary. Hillary is not, for all you liberals out there, Hillary is not really a liberal. She's just whatever is going to get her power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
She's not actually pro LGBTQ. She actually doesn't give a about them at all.
Yeah, because otherwise she wouldn't be taking all this goddamn money from a country that literally executes gays. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
In a very brutal and savage way. But whatever. Everything for the presidency.
The following is an actual 911 call from a traumatized victim. It's not an actual 911 call.
911, please state your emergency.
Oh God, please help me. Please.
Okay, sir, please.
Help me. Oh my
Sir,
God.
Please, I'm gonna need
help
you
me.
to
We
calm
need
down.
help.
Please
I need
calm
help.
down.
Please.
Just
Okay.
please tell me what happened.
Okay. I was at the 49ers stadium.
Okay.
And
Okay,
yeah,
sir.
I was at the 49ers stadium and Colin Kaepernick refused to stand for the national anthem.
Sir,
Somebody needs to put him in a cage.
we
Please.
can't
Oh
actually
my
do
God.
anything about this situation.
But my
Sir,
freedoms.
please, if you have a problem,
He sat down and people died
I
and
don't
put
know.
him in a
Just
cage.
please contact the 49ers.
No.
Maybe they can do something.
No, you need to
No,
put him in
sir.
a cage.
Sir, we cannot put this man in a
flag
cage.
stands
Please,
for 5% lower taxes.
just,
Please
contact
put
the
him in a
49ers.
cage.
okay?
My freedoms, the
Have a good day.
troops. Please.
And it says, why is the military fighting for our freedoms in Iraq and Afghanistan? How the did our freedoms get over there?
I saw that today. That's on the podcast now. Thanks, Michael. This is the lightning round.
Ba-ba-dum-ba-dum.
So, for our last topic, we're going to do several topics. Number 1. So, Michael, have you seen the Native Americans losing their shit over there protesting the oil pipeline?
I have.
Okay,
I have.
I found out more info about that. So I was wondering, like, if it's private property, they shouldn't be there, right? Well, so apparently what happened was the Army Corps of Engineers, basically the government wing dealing with this right now, they actually violated a treaty between the U.S. government and the Native American tribes by building this pipeline over their, I don't know, their sacred ground or something like that. So they violated a treaty. So they have every right? I mean, shouldn't they be protesting? You think they should be chaining themselves to tubes and shit? What do you think about that?
Yeah, man, let's shut it down.
Yeah. Well, there's not very much media coverage because they're getting ready to basically like bury them. You know that's what's going to happen, like it always does with the Native Americans in this country. We haven't gotten any better, I don't think. Topic number 2.
Hold on. Oh. Anthony Weiner?
Yeah, Anthony Weiner. You got it, Michael. You got it.
Yay.
Anthony
I passed.
Yeah, dude. I saw these, like, there's something that I guess the New York Daily News, they've been following all the Wiener.
The trail of dick pics.
yeah. New York Daily News, Anthony Weiner.
Man, that name is so fitting for him.
What kind of guy has that name and also has a problem with the issue that he's doing? You know what I mean? Like, why? It's incredible that this guy has a problem. He cannot stop sending dick pics to people, and his name is Anthony Weiner. It's so ironic. Yeah, like, I think this one, because Huma Abedin actually is putting forth a divorce now. I think the title was something like Huma cuts off Wiener.
Oh.
Yeah, but they got like headlines like that, a lot of puns and stuff. But you know, he was like, I heard like on a podcast they were talking about how Anthony Weiner was like a big name politician. Like they thought he was a rising star, you know, probably going to run for president eventually, you know.
Yeah.
Like they had as high hopes for him as they did like for Obama, you know. It's just so funny. But this time he got caught with his pants around his ankles, and his kid, I guess, was asleep next to him in the bed when he took the picture. So yeah, she's like, I can't do this anymore. But like Hillary's worried about it because it might bring scrutiny back to her and Bill's relationship. And I was like, wait, what relationship? So have you seen any of this new Hillary shit going on? They did a dump at the beginning of the holiday weekend. They did a dump of info. Did you see that?
Can't say I did.
Yeah, you were like celebrating your birthday weekend. Well, your birthday's
Yeah.
on Tuesday, right? Or Wednesday?
Tuesday. It's on Tuesday. So the day this podcast comes out.
Yay! Happy birthday,
Yay.
Michael! It's your birthday.
Woo.
You want me to sing you the birthday song?
Nope.
Too bad, because you're so freaking. Oh, I thought you were gonna say yes. Damn
I'm actually kind of becoming a Jehovah's Witness, so I'm not going to do anything for my birthday. Mostly because I already did it this weekend, and
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't think you can say you're not celebrating your birthday for a principled reason if you're not real, if the real reason is actually people just don't love you that much.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Like,
But
I
hey,
say,
if you li-
I don't.
if you're
I say
listening to
that
this-
I say that I'm morally opposed to saying the Pledge of Allegiance, but I'm never in a situation where I have to say the Pledge of Allegiance. You know, I'm not really.
I mean, if any of our
protesting.
listeners want to help me celebrate my birthday, they can go donate $1 to our Shotguns Network.
Yeah.
or just the Liberty Lampoon.
You know what? If you really want to help out the show, you can. Why are we talking about this right now? We're on a firing line, or whatever. It's rapid fire, lightning round. Yeah, lightning. So
Yeah, but we were talking about my birthday.
Yeah, but your birthday came up because of Hillary Clinton. Uh-oh, you have ties to Clinton. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, so freaking Hillary Clinton, dude, she they did a dump, or I think it was the State Department did a dump, and they took a dump of emails right on all of the people of this country. I guess there was some stuff in there where it was like they found out that aides like to Hillary Clinton's office or whatever, they took all of her Blackberries and stuff down to the basement of the State Department and freaking started beating them with hammers and breaking them. Yeah, for real. This is for real, dude. And like some guy was on, I think he was on MSNBC, and the guy was like talking about all the things that were in these new emails and all the information they found out, like including health problems for Hillary. And he says this whole thing about them beating Blackberries with a hammer to destroy them. And the host, clearly in the can for Hillary is like, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like it's accurate at all. Can I get a real-time fact check of that, please? Hey, I need a real-time fact check. And the guy's like, yeah, actually that's true. Yes, that happened. Yep. Email said that they were down in the basement beating the phones with hammers, and she's like, oh, okay. Wow. Like, oh my God. This woman that I worship, she's in trouble. She's not really in trouble, though. I feel sorry for the people beating those phones with hammers, though, because they're certainly going to be shot. They're certainly going to be suicided.
Yeah. Yep. They don't know it yet, but they're about to kill themselves
Twice in the back of the head with a 12-gauge shotgun. That's that, Michael. That's that. How do you feel about yourself? That lightning round, 3 topics. That's a real lightning round right there. Woo! Hold on to your butts. We got 3 topics coming at you rapid fire. Hey everybody, thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you so much.
Make sure if you want to go help out the show, the best way that you can do that is by liking and sharing this on Facebook or retweeting us on Twitter. You can follow us at Twitter at Liberty Lampoon.
Liberty Lampoon.
Right. But you can also go to iTunes, give us a good rating, give us a good review, and we'll love you for several hours. So thank you. Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for listening to Liberty Lampoon. This is Michael.
And this is Aaron.
And we will see you next time. Remember to be free and go vote.
Don't vote by guns.